Yo, what's up, sports bettors? Alex here, and I have a three-leg juicy parlay for Monday. So 3 picks to win over $1,000, betting 100 to win over $1,000. So I say this all the time, but some of the best betting opportunities you're going to find, right? Sometimes sports books, they slip up the most when they first release odds for an upcoming day. So books are starting to post NHL odds, NBA odds for Monday. I found 3 really good plays on Fliff. Fliff is an 18-plus sportsbook. It's available almost everywhere in the United States, and you only have to be 18 years or older to sign up, so that's a pro about it. And anyways, let's get into the picks, the math behind the parlay, showing you why this parlay is so profitable. Yo, sports better. So I have 3 picks to turn $100 into over 1,000, and all my bets are going to be from the positive expected value, the positive EV tool on OddsJam. So I say this all the time, but this is probably where I get like 80-90% of my plays from, and you can use it for either pre-match betting or live betting on games that are currently going on. But basically the way this tool works is pretty simple, right? It just scans all of the lines from sportsbooks and shows you where you're getting value, right? So currently I just have Fliff selected, but because this is a video about Fliff, but I say this all the time, sportsbooks, they set odds independently from one another. I mean, understanding this is the core of understanding how to make money sports betting, right? All of these books, BetRivers, DraftKings, Caesars, Pinnacle, they all want to be unique, right? So they all set lines independently. So as a sharp sports bettor, you're just looking for value on the sportsbooks that you're using, right? And the more sportsbooks you have, the more surface area, there's more opportunities for sportsbooks to slip up. Like you can see here, there's, probably like 5 or 6 profitable plays on Fliff. So out of the tens of thousands of lines on Fliff Sportsbook, just like every other sportsbook, they're screwing up in a few spots. They don't have unlimited resources. Sometimes their models get out of sync with the rest of the market, and they're offering too much value. So right here in the Islanders-Hurricanes game, you can get the over 6.5 at plus 195 odds on Fliff. No other sportsbook is giving you better than plus 180, right? DraftKings and Caesars are around plus 155 odds, right? Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they're only giving you plus 176 odds. So long story short, we're getting really clear value on Fliff. And quite simply, that's why you want to go with this play. As a sharp sports bettor, you're always looking for value. I mean, people always try to overcomplicate sports betting. It's really this simple. All these books set lines independently. You look through the market and you can get a sense of, okay, most books have this priced around plus 165, and we're getting 30 cents of improvement on Fliff. We're getting plus 195. So we're getting a clear discrepancy compared to the rest of the market. So this is a profitable play we want to go with on Fliff, right? So this is the first play that I went with in my parlay. And I have explained this before too, but I mean, you really need to understand this tool. It's the most important calculator in sports betting. It's called a no-vig odds calculator. So regardless of if you ever use OddsJam, if you're not a serious sports bettor versus if you're a serious sports bettor, you need to understand no-vig odds if you want to make money sports betting. And basically what you need to understand is the way that sportsbooks make money is they charge a spread, right? So you can see DraftKings, they have their over at plus 155. They have the under at minus 210. So they have a 55-cent spread baked into their market. So it's kind of like a stockbroker being like, hey, I'll buy this stock for 155 and I'll sell it for 210. I mean, sportsbooks are literally dealers of bets. The same way a stockbroker will try to buy stocks for 155 from people who want to sell and then sell them for a higher price to people, who want to buy. Sportsbooks are doing the exact same thing, right? DraftKings has a 55-cent spread baked into their market. So long story short, what you want to do when you're trying to figure out the fair odds or the no-vig odds is you want to remove that spread, right? So let's say a stockbroker, for example, is like, hey, I'll buy a stock for $10, I'll sell it for $11. Well, if they'll buy it for 10, they'll sell it for 11, the price of that stock, the fair price, is probably the midpoint, $10.50. If all the stockbrokers are saying, hey, we'll buy this stock for $10, we'll sell it for 11, the fair price is just going to be the midpoint, $10.50, right? If you remove the spread, if you take the midpoint, it would be $10.50. That is called the fair price. And it's no different in sports betting. No-vig odds is just the exact same term. Like this means the same thing as true odds. So true odds, fair odds, you'll hear a bunch of different terms that sharp bettors will say. So all a no-vig odds calculator does is it removes the spread. So because every sportsbook sets lines independently, every sportsbook will have a different fair price. So DraftKings, for example, their market on the over/under 6.5 goals is they have the under favored. So the under is obviously going to be more likely to occur, more than 50% to occur. Their market's plus 155, minus 210. So the fair price with the VIG removed is plus 172.74, and this bet is 36.66% to win. Right? Now, what you're going to notice is Pinnacle, they're giving you, they're a lot less aggressive on the over, right? They're giving you better odds on the over. They're giving you worse odds on the under. So essentially, DraftKings thinks the over, DraftKings, their model, right? They're giving you a worse price on the over. So they think the over is more likely to occur. Pinnacle, on the other hand, right, they have the under at minus 213. DraftKings is at minus 210. So Pinnacle is saying, hey, we think the under is more likely, right? So long story short, what you're going to notice is Pinnacle is going to say the under is a higher than 63.34% win probability. So if we put in Pinnacle's odds, plus 176, minus 213, what they're saying here is, hey, according to Pinnacle's model, Pinnacle is known to be the sharpest, the smartest sportsbook in the world. They take bets. You can literally Google this. There's tons of information about it. Pinnacle takes the largest bet sizes. They take bets from all around the world. So you put the most weight into their odds. And they're pricing this plus 176, minus 213. So the win probability, according to Pinnacle, for the over 6.5 total goals is going to be plus 187.82. That is the true odds, or the fair odds. And the win probability is 34.74%, right? So Pinnacle is saying, hey, we think the under is a bit more favored than DraftKings thinks, right? Because you're going to notice when you put Pinnacle's line in, they are saying the under has a higher no vig win probability, or fair win probability, true win probability. And I know this can be kind of confusing for new sports bettors or people, who don't have a bunch of experience with trading, financial markets. So you can feel free to reach out to me with any questions. I'll also include a video about no vig odds in the description. But long story short, the fair price, right, if you remove the spread from Pinnacle's market, the fair price is plus 187.82 odds, right? That's the fair price. So on Fliff, we're getting plus 195. So we're getting better odds than the fair odds. You're always going to be getting value to the no vig odds, right? You're always going to be placing bets at better odds than the no vig odds. It's kind of like if you knew a stock was worth $10 and your friend was like, hey, I'll sell you all my, I'll sell you this stock for $9. Well, it's worth $10, so you're getting value compared to the market. Let's say it's trading in the market at $10. Your friend's willing to sell it to you for $9. You'd be like, yeah, that seems like a good deal. In the market, this stock is trading at, $10. I'm able to buy it from you for $9, so I'm getting $1 of value. It's no different here. According to Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, when we remove their spread, you see that their model, right? The model, and this is like, a lot of people are like, this is a lot of math. It's like, this is how the industry works. This is how sportsbooks work, right? They have models that spit out win probabilities for bets. Then they back out their no vig odds, and then they bake in a spread. It's just like a stockbroker will be like, hey, I think this stock is worth $10.50, so I'm going to buy it for 10 and I'm going to sell it for 11. And that's all they do all day, right? They try to make that $1 risk-free spread. They think the stock's worth $10.50, so they buy it for 10, they sell it for 11. And it's no different on sportsbooks, right? According to Pinnacle, here's the odds they're putting out. The over has a 34.74% win probability, and the fair price is plus 188, and we're getting value, right? We're getting a better price on Fliff. We're getting plus 195. So essentially what we want to do first, when we're trying to figure out the profit margin of our parlay, is we want to figure out the win probability for each of these picks, right? We want to figure out the win probability for each of our bets. So our first one, right here, just using Pinnacle's market, we're just going to use Pinnacle's market because they're known to be the sharpest, the smartest sportsbook out there. So the win probability for this first play is 34.74%. So anyways, let's get on to the Kings next. So here we're getting the Kings first half point spread. A lot of people would be like, why don't you just bet on the Kings full game point spread? Why not first quarter? Why not minus 2.5 point spread? Why minus 1.5? Because this is where the value is. Right? Pinnacle's market plus 118, minus 137. So we throw that into the no vig odds calculator. And the win probability for this play is 44.24%. right? So a higher win probability. And this should make sense, right? Like here, sure, sportsbooks have the Warriors plus 1.5 as the favorite outcome, but it's only around, minus 145 odds on the sportsbook. So the Warriors plus 1.5 is the favorite outcome. Our bet on Fliff is still so profitable because we're getting great value. We're getting plus 130 when the sharpest sportsbook in the world, if you remove the spread and you find their true odds, no vig odds, it's plus 126. We're getting plus 130 on Fliff. So we're getting improvement, right? We're getting better odds. We're getting value on Fliff to the no vig odds. We're getting better odds than the true odds. So I say this all the time, but like if you don't care about the math, this kind of should be rational sports betting, right? Like all these books set lines independently, you want to find clear discrepancies and clear spots with value. You want to pick off sports books when they're offering too much value. Just like a day trader will wait around all day till there's a stock where they're getting too much value or a trade where they think they're getting too much value. It's no different as a sports bettor. You think about investors. They hunt through the market, right? They look for assets that are underpriced and they buy those assets. You think about a real estate investor looking for underpriced buildings or whatever. It's no different in sports betting. Here, you're hunting through the market. OddsJam is literally updating millions and millions of odds every second to allow you to hunt through the market and look for these very clear line discrepancies where you're getting value on the sportsbooks you use. And in this case, we're just looking at Fliff, but you can look at any sportsbooks you want. There's like 200 sportsbooks on OddsJam. So here in the Cavs game, if you just want to think about this rationally, like an investor, like a day trader, it's like, okay, most books are pricing this around minus 165 odds. We're getting minus 140 on Fliff. We have numerous data points. There's numerous other sports books posting odds on the Cavs minus 2.5. A ton of sports books are posting odds on this. I'm getting minus 140 on Fliff. Most other books are around minus 165. So I'm getting enough value to beat the vig, beat the juice, and have a profitable play, right? And minus 140's clear value. Pinnacle's market, minus 169, plus 147. So if we put that in here, we're going to see now this time we're betting on a favorite outcome. The Cavs minus 2.5, right? We're going with a favorite here. The win probability for this play is 60.81%. Okay, cool. So what you're going to see now is like, okay, we have, we're betting $100, right? So this is the win probability for each of our picks, right? Just using the no vig odds from Pinnacle. So just putting in Pinnacle's market into a no vig odds calculator. So this no vig fair odds calculator, just putting in Pinnacle's market. According to Pinnacle, the win probability for the Cavs minus 2.5 is 60.81%. Right, based on their market, based on how much juice they have towards the Cavs minus 2.5, Pinnacle is saying, hey, the Cavs minus 2.5 is 60.81% to occur. So if Pinnacle, let's say, had the Cavs minus 2.5 at minus 189 odds, right, the Cavs minus 2.5 would be even more favored. It would be 61.76%. Right? So Pinnacle was at minus 169, so the Cavs are, 60.81% to win, or to cover the minus 2.5 point spread. If they say, had it minus 199, then it would be 62.18%. So the more juice a sportsbook has towards one side, the more likely that sportsbook is saying that bet is to occur. I mean, you can kind of think about, and again, this is all no vig odds. It may be confusing to you at first, but like you just have to think about it rationally. So the Warriors-Kings game, the Warriors are very slight favorites, minus 106. So maybe like 51% to win, according to the sportsbook odds. Against the Nets, the 76ers are minus 461 odds. They're like 80% to win. They're huge favorites against the Nets. So the sportsbooks, the market is telling you, hey, the 76ers are really likely to win this game, right? So there's a different level of juice for the 76ers as opposed to the Warriors. But long story short, we have the win probability for each of the picks in our parlay. None of these are correlated. So for our parlay to win, we have to win all three of these bets. So you just multiply these three numbers together, right? You take the win probability for the first bet times the second times the third bet. And that's the win probability for your parlay. So I'm betting $100, right, to win $1,063. So I'll show you my bet slip here in a second. So the edge or the profit margin of this parlay is $9. You can go through the math. I'll put this spreadsheet in the description, but hopefully this video was helpful. So you can see my parlay right here. I got 3 picks, juicy odds, right? Getting pretty juicy odds, 100 to win over $1,000 in profit. And again, I never bet with my gut. I say this all the time. 99.9% of sports bettors, they trust their heart, their gut, their emotions, and then they wonder why they lose money. Everyone thinks they can outsmart the sports books. They have a better model. They're smarter than everyone else. They're smarter than the market, when the truth is you're not. I'm not. Right? The key to beating sportsbooks is using their data against themselves, right? Use all the sportsbooks, look for the market consensus, and find value on the sportsbooks you use. Whether you use FanDuel, DraftKings, PrizePicks, Fliff, there's value on all these platforms. You just have to hunt for it. You just have to find it, right? Hunt through the market, look for those rare few discrepancies where you're actually getting enough value to beat the no vig odds or be profitable long term. That's how you make money sports betting.